Right now, the first and only debate between Democratic Governor Tony Evers and Republican challenger Tim Michels is in the books. We have a recap of tonight's event. Plus, we take you behind the scenes for a look at what goes into a debate before it happens. And a deadly week for police all across the country. Officers gunned down in 4 separate shootings. A look at the various crimes involving law enforcement. That's all coming up right now at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, the dust has finally settled in our studios here. Just 2 hours ago, this set hosted the only debate we will see in the governor's race this year. The candidates touched on a wide range of issues, and here to break it all down is political reporter Will Keneally.
That's right, Charlotte. So since the debate is the only time that we'll see the 2 candidates together, tonight was about creating separation. The 2 candidates finding ways to show how different they are. And we saw those differences clearly on issues like gun control and teaching race in schools. But perhaps the biggest difference for the candidates was on the issue of abortion. During the debate, it was a race to see who was the most radical.
My opponent is radical on this issue, and frankly, she's radical because it's not consistent with Wisconsin values.
I am pro-life, and I make no apologies for that, but I'll tell you who the real radical is. The real radical is Governor Evers.
So Michels went on here to criticize the governor's veto of what's called a Born Alive bill. And that's similar to much of what we saw at this debate. Michels challenging Evers' record for the past 4 years and the governor defending it. We saw that play out over a lot of issues like education and Wisconsin test scores. We'll have coverage on the full range of issues up online at channel3000.com and tomorrow on Weekend Morning.
And former President Barack Obama is coming to Wisconsin later this month. He will be stumping for Governor Evers, Attorney General Josh Kaul, and Senate candidate Mandela Barnes. The former president is set to visit Milwaukee on October 29th for an early vote event. Let's check your certified most accurate forecasts now with Julian Seawright.
Well, we're going to be having a freeze warning that's in effect from 1 a.m. till 9 a.m. for our Saturday morning. So, folks, it's already chilly for us now in southern Wisconsin. It's going to get even colder over the next few hours. Now, let's take a look at what we're going to be seeing for us here. As we mentioned, it's going to be a freeze warning. It's going to be from Dane County and from Rock County and areas to the east. The good news is we're not looking at much in terms of precipitation. Areas to the north could be seeing a couple of trying to pick up flurries, but overall, it's not even touching the ground at this point. And the skies are starting to clear as we can see a bit of that moon as we get into our Friday night. And looking ahead, well, folks, it is going to get even colder. We're looking at lower 40s as of right now, but the 30s will be right behind it coming very shortly after. The good news is that it's not going to be overly windy by the time we're heading out the door, but those winds will start to pick up by the time we get into our Sunday. Here's a look at our weekend forecast, folks. Tomorrow's not going to be too bad of a day. It's the lower 50s, plenty of sunshine, but as we get into Sunday, a bit of a change is on the way as we're looking at some shower potential, and on top of it, breezy conditions to keep us rather chilly as we gear up for the back end of the weekend. We'll plan out how else we're going to be seeing these changes in just a few moments. Until then, so it's back to you, Charlotte.
Thank you. Transforming a news studio into a debate stage is not an easy task. It requires days of preparation from crews in front of and behind the camera, all with the goal to make it look seamless for viewers at home. Our Arman Rahman gives us a behind the scenes of putting on the gubernatorial debate.
The 2022 gubernatorial debate.
When you tune into a debate at home, the panelists, moderators, and candidates are all you hear and see. But on set, there's hours of prep time and dozens of crew members. And to help steer the candidates along,
interesting to see, are they going to test me? Are they going to try to go over their time?
The moderator, in this case WBA's Jill Geisler.
People seem to really appreciate it when we hold people to time. We don't let them interrupt each other. We don't let them get into fights. Because what we really want is light instead of heat.
But she's not the only one watching the time.
3:30.
Yeah, I directly communicate with the moderator, but I'm able to communicate with everybody if I have to. My goal is to not have to do that.
In the control room, producers and directors are also watching graphics, cameras, mic levels, and more.
Basically, everybody who's out there besides the candidates, I will be able to get into their ear and, make adjustments if need be.
Christopher Hyen normally produces News 3 Now's 10 o'clock broadcast.
Newscasts are very set in how they are run. We stack a show from top to bottom.
Not so much tonight.
But this one is going to be more free-flowing and more, just not so much like in a stacked rundown. But when it comes to ending the show on time, there's obviously a lot more variables that go into it, which is part of the fun and challenge of a debate.
It's a production that requires all hands on deck, but they say they're happy to do it.
Being picked for that job to produce this, it's an honor.
Debates are one of the most important parts of an election cycle because they give the people a chance to have questions asked on their behalf.
Also new tonight was a debate data team fact-checking and posting online in real time. Well, a family who says their loved one was shot and killed by an officer last night says they're looking for answers. Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett confirmed one of his deputies was involved in a deadly shooting in the village of Windsor. The family is identifying that person as 46-year-old Quantaze Campbell. They learned of his death last night when law enforcement officers contacted the man's mother. Little information about the circumstances surrounding his death has been shared with the family so far.
That was the biggest thing when it came to this. We just didn't want him to be portrayed as something that he wasn't. So we just want to paint a picture, like, just to let everybody know that he was a family man, a loving man.
Court records show the 46-year-old had a warrant issued about 3 weeks ago for failure to appear in a pending felony criminal case. Filings show he's accused of helping steal several $1,000s worth of copper coils from UW Hospital. The DOJ has not yet formally identified the person shot, nor has it released additional details about the incident. We don't know if Campbell was a suspect or involved in a different way. And we have an update to an armed robbery of an Amazon delivery truck. 2 of the 3 suspects have been arrested. Janesville police say all 3 suspects have been identified in the incident. A 16-year-old boy and 16-year-old girl, both from Janesville, are being held at the Rock County Youth Services Center. Arrangements have been made to take the 3rd suspect into custody. It has been a deadly week for police all across the U.S. In Las Vegas, Raleigh, and Bristol, Connecticut, communities are mourning fallen officers. In Connecticut, 3 officers were ambushed in what police say appears to be a calculated attack. 2 of them were killed, while the 3rd is recovering after undergoing surgery. Last night in Raleigh, at least 5 people were shot and killed. The suspected shooter is a 15-year-old boy.
This is a senseless, horrific, and infuriating act of violence.
And in Las Vegas Thursday, 1 officer was shot while responding to a domestic disturbance call. He later died in the hospital. Now to the conflict in Ukraine, where Ukrainians are mourning the dead after days of relentless Russian missile attacks. At a summit in Kazakhstan, Russian President Vladimir Putin said there's now no need for massive new strikes on Ukraine because the Kremlin's targets have been hit. Putin said the barrage came in response to last weekend's bombing of a key bridge connecting Russia with the annexed Ukrainian territory of Crimea. Here in Madison, Veterans for Peace and local constituents held a demonstration today calling on lawmakers to reduce the dangers of nuclear war. Sunday marks the 60th anniversary of the start of the Cuban Missile Crisis, widely regarded as the closest the world has ever gotten to nuclear war. But nuclear threats have risen in recent months with the war in Ukraine. Organizers say not enough is being done to de-escalate tensions between nuclear superpowers.
I just think it's important to build a movement, an anti-war, anti-nuclear movement in times like this, when, in my opinion, it feels largely absent from kind of the national stage in the past couple of months.
The protest was one of several around the country today as part of the growing Diffuse Nuclear War campaign. Well, we have a traffic update for you. Due to an accident involving a crane truck, southbound I-39-9094 near DeForest will be closed overnight. According to the Wisconsin State Patrol, the crane truck was heading south on the highway with the boom arm extended when it hit the River Road Bridge and rolled onto its side. Work crews have been sent to remove a portion of the bridge over the southbound lanes of the interstate. Motorists are advised to use alternate routes. When we come back, it is the final week of the regular season for high school football. We'll have highlights of the action from around the area in tonight's final drive. But first, a look at your weekend forecast is next.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection is now hiring experienced plumbers. Come work for a family-first award-winning company and enjoy union pay and benefits. Apply online today. Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, your trusted partner since 1977.
National call centers. They're just not the way to go, especially now that it's time for Medicare's annual enrollment period. Because nobody knows your local hospitals, doctors, and pharmacies like your local Informed Choice Insurance agent.
Looking at mattresses?
I'm just looking.
Jump on it, roll on it.
No.
I can see you in it. You got your Firm Plush, Ultra Plush, Ultra Plush Plus. Just pretend I'm not here. My name is Richard. You have any questions?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable.
She seemed nice.
That's why Slumberland has modernized the process, giving you the freedom to have a comfortable experience. Right now, get 30% off select mattresses. Slumberland. Mattress shopping reinvented.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson.
I'm Sheriff Eric Severson.
We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600 grand of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Join us at the Madison Fall Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns. Visit and get inspired for your 2023 building and remodeling projects. Go to MadisonParadeOfHomes.com and purchase your tickets today.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection is now hiring experienced plumbers. Come work for a family-first award-winning company and enjoy union pay and benefits. Apply online today. Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, your trusted partner since 1977.
Once you start, you just can't stop.
On UW Homecoming Week, Mark Kane introduces you to a Wisconsin alum with a unique collection that chronicles decades of Badger history. Right on the button. Monday on News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Let's check in with Julian for a complete look at the weekend forecast. Temperatures getting colder.
Charlotte,
right?
It is going to be a bundle up kind of night for us. It's already starting as well, since temperatures are going to fall into the freezing points. That's right. We're going to see temperatures below freezing for tonight, which is why we have a freeze warning for Dane County and for Rock and Greene County and areas to the east until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. This will be valid for us at 1 a.m. So it's going to be the overnight we're going to have the most concern, but it's already getting pretty chilly for us here in southern Wisconsin. Now, taking a look at our surface map, what we had earlier today, we had this low pressure system that was bringing some showers, but the showers just weren't hitting the ground, as we had plenty of moisture with that system, but that was mainly aloft. On the surface, there was plenty of dry air, which was keeping us from seeing any kind of showers on the ground throughout the course of the day, which was relatively good news because we just didn't have to deal with rainy conditions, but it still was rather dreary. Now, looking at our dew points, this was the main reason why we didn't see any showers. It was so dry throughout the course of our Friday that, once again, we're not able to hit the ground as it continued to evaporate as the rain in itself or even showers. We're trying to develop a loft, but just evaporated. Overnight, we're looking at temperatures that go into the lower 30s, around 31 degrees is what we're expecting for us, so it is going to be cold. And temperatures around southern Wisconsin, it's really going to be the theme for us. Many areas are going to be at the freezing point or below as we get into tonight. But let's talk about the weekend. Improvements are coming for Saturday. Lower 50s for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. Still going to be on the chillier side, but not quite as chilly as it has been for today. And then Sunday, we are right back to some late fall type weather for us. Upper 40s, and folks, it is going to be a windy day, and we are going to be anticipating to start to see some showers developing as well. So let's walk through what we're going to see for the start of this weekend. Overnight, cloud cover is going to dissipate. Around 7 o'clock, north of Dane County, could see some cloud cover, but that's also going to start to break up by the time we get into late morning and around our lunchtime hour. So as we get into the afternoon, we're going to see even more open sky for us. Temperatures are going to warm up as that southwesterly flow is going to bring in a bit more warmth for us. But we're going to see that be rather brief. As we get into our Saturday nights, temperatures will drop once again into the 40s. Not going to be as chilly as it is for us tonight, but we're going to see the upper 30s going into our Sunday morning, and then potentials of showers on and off throughout our late Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. And by the time we get into our Sunday evening, well, things are going to be chilly once again, and they are going to be rather breezy. Not a lot in terms of precipitation. Mainly areas to the north are going to see trace amounts. But for us, we're going to see gusty conditions throughout the next few days, and best believe it's going to stick around for us by the time we get into Monday as well. So our 3 things we'll need to know. We're really going to be looking at the changes coming in for Sunday. We're looking at shower potential, windy conditions, and temperatures to really dive back into the 40s. And overnight, folks, it's going to be even chillier. We're looking at even the 20s by the time we get into the overnight from Monday transitioning into Tuesday. So make sure you're bundling up for the start of next week. But the good news is next weekend, we're looking for a warm-up. It's going to do it for weather. But hey, what's coming up with sports, guys?
This is it. The final week of the regular season is here, and there are still some things to be decided, Jordan.
Yeah, Zach, we're talking playoff berths, conference titles, and undefeated seasons, and a couple of those things are playing a role in our game of the week. A lot on the line tonight in the Eastern Suburban Conference. Marshall and Marquesan are both ranked, both undefeated in conference play, so that means that the winner of this one will be crowned conference champ. The Hornets head to Cardinal Country with a perfect record. Marshall trying to protect home field on senior night. Best way to do that, put some points on the board, and that's just what they do. Opening drive for Marshall, Raymond Campos avoids all sorts of Hornets to score the first touchdown of the night. Marquesan not wanting to throw away an undefeated record. So Ryan Mast, he's going to hold on to this one for the score, but a failed 2-point conversion. It's going to be 7-6 at halftime. Now, whatever is said at halftime in that locker room, Marshall comes out barreling out of the break. More specifically, Matthew Model. He's breaking several tackles right here to extend the Cardinals' lead. They get it done tonight, 27-6, and they are conference champs.
Last week, Verona clinched a share of the Big 8 Conference crown for the first time since 2016 with a win over Janesville Craig. But sharing isn't fun, right? Wildcats won it outright. Standing in the way for that, Madison West. Verona already up 14 and looking for more in the second. Caden Kittleson hits his BFF West Brickley, and the big man rumbles his way to a 30-yard gainer. That would set up this. Trey Ingram listed as 166 pounds, but he packs a punch. Ingram bounces off a would-be tackler and finds the end zone to make it a 3-score game. Now, Verona's special teams are special. They have one of the best long snappers in the country, and their kickoff team brings the wood. Mason Armstrong with the hit. The Wildcats, Big 8 champs by themselves for the first time since 2011. 44-0 is your final. Middleton finally back at home after 3 straight road games, and the Cardinals are hoping to head into the postseason on a roll. Since dropping their first 2 games, they've won 5 of the last 6, including 4 straight. To get to 5, they'll have to knock off Madison East. Fireworks before the game, and the Cardinals provided the fireworks during the game. Thomas D'Onofrio says, "I'll take that." And Middleton would turn the turnover into points. A couple plays later, Bryce Falk takes the handoff, and he walks in untouched from 11 yards out to make it 7-0 Cards. Now they get the ball back, and Falk was at it again. This time, though, breaks a tackle, cuts it back, still finds the end zone with ease. Middleton goes on to win 52-20. Down in Division II, top-ranked Wanakee caps off a perfect regular season with a 42-0 win over Beaver Dam. And Sun Prairie East heads to the playoffs on a 6-game win streak. They take down Stoughton 76-7.
Monroe's been dominating since the start of the season, sitting atop of the standings as they head into the regular season finale with a perfect 8-0 record, looking to finish things off with no blemishes as they host Whitewater. But the Cheesemakers, they get going early, and I mean 3 minutes in. Keaton Sweeney just makes it look easy, finds a clear path, follows that right into the end zone. Monroe with an early 7-0 lead. They're quick to add to it. On their very next drive, it's Sweeney again, but this time it's a 61-yard touchdown. See you later. Monroe jumps out to a 14-0 lead. Nothing slowing the squad down. Second quarter, they're up 21-0. Now Tucker Markham is going to throw a stiff arm to haul in the Cheesemakers' 4th tutty of the night. Monroe shuts it out 47-0 ends regular season on a perfect note. Next up, playoffs. Other scores in Division III, Mount Horeb-Barneveld finishes up its season with a win, 39-21 over Portage to clinch the Badger Small Conference, and Reedsburg gets upset at home by Holman, 24-6, the final.
Columbus clinched their share of the Capital Conference last week, but they've got bigger goals in mind. Andrew Banstra was at the trip at Fireman's Park, and Andrew, Cardinals, they're rolling into the playoffs.
They're rolling for sure. After coming up one game short of reaching Camp Randall last year, Columbus came back with a vengeance in 2022. The Cardinals already clinched a share of a conference title, but a win tonight, and it's all theirs. Standing in their way, New Glarus Monticello. On the very first play, Colton Brunel comes in with the strip. Behind him, Brady Link picks it up. He scoops and scores. 7-0 Cardinals right out of the gates. This time on offense, it's Brunel once more right up the middle. A one-man band getting it all done, 14-zip Columbus. Later in the first quarter, guess who? Just give him the ball and get out of the way. It's Colton Brunel once more, leading his Cardinals to a 56-14 win. The junior running back has been doing this. In the win, he broke the Columbus career rushing yards record at 4,000 and counting. His Cardinals finished the year at a perfect 9-0 and are Capital Conference champions once more.
Elsewhere in Division IV, Lake Mills finishes their regular season with a win over Lodi, and Wisconsin Dells wins their second straight outright South Central championship with a 43-17 win over Poinet. And down in Division VI, Darlington beats Fenimore to take home the SWAL championship outright, while Belleville heads to the postseason with a win over Parkview Albany. And still to come, another road trip, another win for Wisconsin volleyball. How the Badgers took down the Hawkeyes with ease. More sports after the break.
Franklin, big swing scores. 6-3.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Planning a remodel? Don't toss your cabinets, furniture, and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Your items stay out of landfills while proceeds create housing solutions for hardworking families. Build a stronger community with Habitat Restore of Dane County.
The culture wars never lowered the cost of anything, and overturning Roe v. Wade won't take a single criminal off the street. But Tim Michaels has a culture war agenda. He'd ban abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, and jail doctors who perform them. And he said gay people shouldn't leave their house. That's his agenda. Tony Evers has a real plan to fire up the economy, create good-paying jobs, and get things done. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity, using less or a lot less oral pain medicines, and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Toyota trains certified technicians. Is that important? Well, you wouldn't hire just anyone to help you move, would you?
This shortcut saves 2 hours easy, please,
dude! No. Of course not. Not again.
Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet and mobile provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers speeds up to a gig with over 99.9% network reliability. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G and the most reliable service coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things, it's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, Advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
Wisconsin volleyball back on the road tonight. This time they took the trip down I-80 for a date with Iowa, a program they've dominated in recent history. The Badgers have won 19 of the last 20 meetings and started it off on the right foot, or should I say swing. UW sets up Sarah Franklin, and she hammers it home. Franklin finished with 20 kills to lead the way for the Badgers. They'd win the first and second set, and then the third, Devin Robinson back in her home state and gets tricky with a tip. Wisconsin gets the sweep, 3-0. In the 5 games since losing their season opener, the Wisconsin women have straight up dominated. The Badgers have outscored their opponents 39-2, and that trend should continue tonight. Wisconsin currently has a 31-game unbeaten streak against St. Cloud State, and that would continue. Badgers look like ants on the screen, but we're playing big. Nicole Lamontia sends a snipe in the back of the net to put Bucky on the board. She finished with 2 goals. UW scored 3 alone in the second. And here's another. Caroline Harvey puts the biscuit in the basket. Badgers win again, 5-0 the final. Home opener for the Badger men. Wisconsin taking on old WCHA foe St. Cloud State. No score in the second, and Wisconsin not on the attack, but a Wisconsin native was. Delafield's own Grant Cruikshank scores off the rebound in his first game ever at the Kohl Center. UW falls 5-1 the final. After an emotional week, the Wisconsin football team rallied around each other and responded with a much-needed win at Northwestern. Now the challenge for Jim Leonard and company, do it again. To do that, the Badgers know they'll have to play clean football again, something they didn't do the previous couple weeks. So this week, it's been about focusing on the fundamentals, doing the little things right, and limiting those mental mistakes.
We weren't doing a great job of any of those things, the previous couple weeks. So just kind of more than anything, getting back to the basics. And the challenge was how efficient can you be, right? How well can you execute?
How do we do that with strain and do it better? And really having attention to the detail in that and knowing, okay, what did I do and how did it help me? And then just doing it again.
Huge showdown in the WIAC. Third-ranked Whitewater hosting number 19 Oshkosh, and the Warhawks were ready. Preston Strasburg rumbles it in from 2 yards out to put the home team on the board. Third quarter, they're up 10-0 and more Strasburg. This time, it's an 8-yard TD scamper. Whitewater takes down Oshkosh 17-3. The Packers looking to bounce back after their loss in London, and they've got some injuries to watch. Rashawn Gary has been battling a toe injury the last 2 days. He did practice today, but is listed as questionable. Matt LaFleur called Gary's toe a concern, but if he can't go, well, you know the phrase.
It's the next man up, and the standard doesn't change, but let's face it, the guy is pretty impactful, I'd say, when he's out on the grass. So certainly he's a guy that we definitely want in there, and when he's not in there, I think you can feel the effects of that.
And we're back after this.
With Pick and Save Fresh Perks, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase to save big at the pump. Pick and Save Fresh Perks. All you do is win big, big savings. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
I'm Joe. I'm from Wisconsin, and I've been a Republican for my entire life. Tim Michels is way too extreme for the people of Wisconsin. I'm very concerned about Tim Michels. He has refused to say that the 2020 election was legitimate or that future elections will be legitimate. Tim Michels supports no exceptions for rape, incest, and that is unacceptable.
Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Something to remember if you don't think fire sprinklers are necessary.
Almost everything will dry out, but nothing will unburn. Whether you live in a house or a high-rise, protect it with fire sprinklers. Fire sprinklers buy time. Time buys life.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
Helpful hints for you from Meineke. It's important to monitor the tread level and tire pressure on your car's tires. Don't wait until it's too late. Stop into Meineke and get your tires inspected today. If you need new tires, we have a special offer for you. Get free mounting and balancing of 4 new General or Continental brand tires with purchase of our complete tire installation package. That's a savings of almost $100. Our tire installation package includes mounting and balancing, road hazard, tire disposal, and wheel alignment. Set up your appointment at Meineke.com today.
My school does active shooter drills every few months.
It's terrifying to think about.
Tim Michaels wants to allow teenagers my age to buy AR-15s with no waiting period.
It's a terrible idea.
It's a really bad idea.
And Michaels wants to allow people to bring loaded guns on our school grounds.
And that's just not okay. I don't want guns in my school. We shouldn't be making things worse.
Tim Michaels is just way too radical.
He's way too divisive.
Tim Michaels is wrong for Wisconsin.
With the Pick and Save app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you'd get in our stores. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
This portion of News 3 Now sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning.
Well, taking a look at the 10-day, tomorrow's going to be our best day for a little while. We're going to see the 50s for pretty much just tomorrow until we get into next week, and it's going to be windy and it's going to be chilly, guys. So we need to start bundling up.
All right, you heard it here. Do something good, everyone. Have a great weekend.